What's up, everyone? Welcome to WAM.
Episode 22. We watched Napoleon, obviously. 2023 release. It came out Thanksgiving Day, right? Did it come out?
Yeah, it was a Thanksgiving release. Thanksgiving releases are sort of a dying art, I think. There used to be some really strong ones.
Yeah, the only ones that are really like Thanksgiving themed anymore are like horror movies.
Nobody's going to go see that Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, you know what? They're making a second one already. They're currently making a second one.
Because it made so much bank. Let's look up what the Thanksgiving box office was.
God, yeah. Are you doing it or am I doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay. How much did it make? How much did the Thanksgiving?
$173 million.
Dude, what was it made on? Like 4?
Oh, wait, no, wait. Sorry, that's all of the Thanksgiving. That's like every movie released in Thanksgiving.
Okay.
No, the horror movie Thanksgiving. Come on.
How much money did Thanksgiving?
Oh, it made 30 million worldwide. Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, we watched Napoleon. We did obviously see it in different kind of ways. Nolan saw it a bit earlier, and then I saw it. I had to see it for 20 minutes. I had to leave the theater, and then I had to go back again and watch the movie. So I kind of got it in segments, but I watched the movie.
Yeah, he got too overwhelmed.
Yeah, a little bit. But dude, the first thing I noticed immediately going into this movie, I hated the coloring so much.
That like constant blue.
It was gross. It was everything was like muted. They didn't want any sort of vibrance in this movie.
Yeah. That's actually just what it looks like in France.
As soon as you go into the border, it's a filter that goes. It's like Mexico and Breaking Bad.
I think we should have that for every country.
Every country has a filter.
France turns blue. Mexico turns, what would that be? Yellow?
Yeah. What does Canada do? Red?
It just looks like you're in a giant fit of rage.
Yeah, constantly. That's why they all have to be so nice. They have to keep it in.
I mean, there was that time where like there was that California wildfire and the sky turned red. Maybe that was them doing like a test run.
Yeah, you probably actually.
Are we fucking with this?
Joaquin Phoenix played Napoleon, obviously. Ridley Scott directed the movie. His last movie, House of Gucci, wasn't the best.
People hated that movie.
Yeah. He's like 86 though. He's so old, dude. But I mean, good director. He's made movies longer than we've been alive, so he knows what he's doing. The cinematography looks great. Like a lot of the shots themselves and the performances are done really well. I just really didn't like the coloring, and then Joaquin Phoenix's performance through the movie was bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't the French people talk in British accents?
Dude, like he mumbled and he was like nervous and then he was like timid, and then like 2 minutes later he'd be like in battle and just watching people get massacred with like no care,
and he was having an anxiety attack,
like a little guy right after, and that's no.
I think the whole time I was asking myself, what is intentional by Ridley Scott and like what is he trying to say about this character against what is messed up? Like, what are we supposed to be inferencing here, and what is just them not doing it correctly? Because I wasn't going into this thinking he was going to do such a negative light on Napoleon, and I'd agree, I'd say this is a negative light on Napoleon.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. This movie isn't building him up at all.
No. And when I look at this movie, it's always just like, I can never tell what is intentional. Especially in the acting at the beginning, I was like, Napoleon feels so inconsequential. It doesn't feel like he's important to be a part of this story, especially since he does sort of whatever is told to him by others. And that's really just what happens. Somebody just goes up and says, Napoleon, you must fight in the war. And then he goes in and he doesn't kill a single soul. At least in that first battle when he's taking out the British that are occupying France.
Gets eviscerated. Yeah.
Oh, that horse.
God, that horse was so funny. At the very first battle that we see, Napoleon like gets up on his horse and he starts to ride in the battle, and then immediately the horse is shot with a mortar fire, and it just like, and you see it all, you see it like explode, and then he gets off his horse all covered in blood, and he's like, I'm fine, it's whatever.
And I love
Yeah,
that scene right after where we spend at least a good 3 minutes watching him climb a ladder.
yeah, it's really good stuff. Like I don't. So then, in that whole battle scene, he's pretty. He's shaken up. He's nervous to go into battle,
Mm-hmm.
and then right after this, then he's like this strong, stoic military commander.
Mm-hmm.
And Joaquin Phoenix as an actor is a really fucking weird guy, right? We know that.
Yeah, I've
He's a
heard he's
real
really
artsy
method.
dude. Yeah. And Napoleon was also just really fucked. He was a weird dude too. And so I can see Joaquin like kind of going more for that, like just changing personalities, trying to be exactly what the people around him need to see. But I think he might have taken it too far to a point, because there's nothing that we like can relate to with Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like cold, he's disconnected, and then I mean he's stiff and he's constantly switching how he plays to like kind of cater to the people he's around. And so
Yeah.
because of that, it's like you said, he feels so inconsequential to the movie, and he doesn't even feel like a main character almost, because we don't like him. Like he's
Wait,
not what?
he's cold to others.
Yeah.
He switches his personality based on who he's around.
Yeah.
Can I diagnose Napoleon Bonaparte real quick?
Go for it, man.
I
He
think
won't hear you.
that's.
He's dead.
Feel like that might be autism. Those are autism symptoms, aren't they? Masking and some lack of empathy.
I mean, you would know better than me.
You are.
I don't know.
This is not fair.
But yeah, and that so I just really didn't like Joaquin Phoenix portrayal at all through this movie. And then how did you feel about his wife?
I think you're gonna go ahead and say you didn't like her, and I think there are reasons not to like her. But from my perspective, she consistently had the most interesting acting in this film. I really like how she portrayed the character, and I just like the idea of having to go through all the stuff Napoleon put her through. I think she's the backbone of this movie, and I think they advertise that too. And most of the advertising, it's like he did all of this for the woman he loved. That's not really like
Yeah, the advertising is just like woman, sex, battle, and like that's it. That's the advertising.
Ridley Scott knows the audience he's trying to get.
Yeah. I didn't dislike the wife. It's just that she was really fucking weird too. And so
Mm,
then there was nothing like I was never like rooting for this girl, and there was never anything personal about her. And it was just that same kind of cold performance that Napoleon kind of gave a lot of the time. And I didn't I didn't hate her. I think the actress did fantastic. I just think the script was lacking for her.
I'm trying to look up that one Harley Quinn Joker quote from like Suicide Squad to describe them. Like she's broken and that's why he's perfect or whatever.
Shut up.
Is that not does that not apply here? They were so connected by their lack of like normal human interaction. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
They're just strange. I
This
don't support them.
just the more I think about how this movie acts, it seems as if I definitely see it now how she was a little weird, but she was weird sort of in like a that's how you have to communicate with him way.
Yeah,
Sort of
you
like
know
how
what?
you
That's
talk to a
probably it.
dog.
Yeah, Napoleon just she knows that she has to talk to him a certain way, or else the words are just not gonna come over to him. She's got to go real slow, be real specific. She can't.
Napoleon continuously phrases things in the weirdest way possible. Oh, and that's another thing. One thing about early screening audiences is these critics are loud and they will like I guess that might be just to tell the people that are like in the audience a part of the PR group. But if they find something funny, they'll laugh real hard. If they find something shocking, they'll gasp real hard.
Mhm.
It's honestly, it's a weird way to watch a movie because it's like you can get into it more because of it, or you could be confused how you feel because you see all these people who are acting really strange compared to how you interpreted what just happened. Yeah, I
He just shit.
but throughout this movie, whenever Napoleon was saying these weird lines, we had the audience like just laughing. And like it was fun to laugh at it. But the whole time I'm thinking, is this a comedy? Because I thought there were some parts that had to be like real comedy. And
Oh,
then
for sure. Like the first time we see Napoleon having sex with his wife like a jackrabbit. Like,
oh my
yeah,
gosh.
that's pure comedy. But then it didn't feel warranted in this movie. I didn't
Yeah.
want that.
I
That scene happened and I was like, what the fuck? I don't care. Like this didn't add anything. This is just he's bad at sex. That's funny.
It's so weird because I do think the more I'm looking at it, the things I thought maybe this is unintentional, I'm thinking, no, I think they knew what they were going into when they tried to make this and they thought it was going to be a comedic moment. And I'm just thinking, why would they make that a comedic moment? It's not in any advertising for this movie.
Mm-mm.
And
It's pure like shock and awe.
yeah.
Maybe not awe, but shock.
I'm not like against us all making fun of this like oppressive emperor. That's completely fine. That's cool. I like that take. But this isn't sort of like an anti-hero turns or a villain or a hero turns villain thing. It's not an anti-hero villain thing. It's not really anything to do with a villain because we don't really see the villainous stuff. We see
No.
him get eventually outed by the French people.
Yeah.
But we aren't seeing the effects that led to that. We're just seeing that he went into a war and they're all pissed that he went into a war because it's like you're spending too much time on the war and not enough time on us.
We're never with us anymore.
You're always in Austria.
I miss the old Bonaparte. Yeah, I don't really understand why. Like we have all of the like the cliff notes of Napoleon's life here, but it just doesn't feel
I don't see the
too
part where he was a
connected.
dumb fucking dude.
Yeah, that really wasn't in there too much. But it just feels disconnected. Like this whole movie feels like you could have taken segments from it and it would have been fine. Like I think this really should have been a 8-episode miniseries, and that would have been a lot
Ooh.
better for this kind of story.
I think I can totally see this as like a limited series. Where would that find a home on? I guess Paramount is doing all their real
Well,
people
probably like
stuff.
Apple TV.
Oh,
They fucking made it. No?
Shut up.
Yeah, but I can
Yeah,
totally
Apple
see it as a
TV.
miniseries like that. I think it would work so much better, and you would have so much more room for all these characters the movie tries to shove in your face to like introduce slowly and add like characterization and not just make a fucking
Yeah.
30-second funny sex scene for the fuck of it.
Now, another funny scene I just remembered. I'm hoping that on your first watch through you got to this, but we watched or do you remember the scene where he took the throne by he took the throne and just a crowd of people started trying to kill him? He runs out of the parliament with his brother as they're trying to attack him, and and his brother's like, I have a plan, open the door. They open the door and he says, if my brother commits treason of any kind, I will kill him. And Joaquin just looks over to him like, what the fuck are you doing? And he just shrugs. He's just like, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it worked.
And that does work.
Yeah, it worked out.
He doesn't kill him, but
things happen. It works out for someone. It works out for his brother, I guess. He doesn't need to kill him.
Yeah, it's just like, I'll just... What a great lie. Just like, hey, trust this guy or I'll kill him.
Yeah. Like,
will I? No.
No.
Probably not.
How do you feel about the battle scenes? Because this movie, that was a really big selling point, and that was like the biggest cinematics, I'll say.
It is the biggest cinematics, and I feel like you could tell where the budget went.
Oh, for sure.
The battle between him, Austria, and Russia might be my favorite scene in the movie. This was around the time where I'm like, I'm not really messing with this movie. I'm not really like enjoying it as much as I thought I was going to. And then we get to this cold landscape where I'm watching Napoleon sort of just hanging out right next to his tents. Like there's just his entire camping area. What?
I said chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling with all of his army in the forest watching their tents. And then you start to see the Austrian army walking over to the tents and they start attacking and they start looking through the tents and they're like, where the fuck is everyone? And they
Yeah.
all come running through the forests with, yeah, that was really good. I felt,
Mhm.
oh my God, this is why people say he was like a good like war general.
Oh yeah,
This
Napoleon was an amazing tactician.
Yeah, that was a really great way of showing it. Not only that, but as they continue to attack and go all around them as they're surrounded in the tents, they're left with one way left to run through, which is on this ice sheet, and they just start firing cannons onto the ice sheet, breaking the ice and submerging them underwater. It was the most beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things that came out this year. How they showed that was incredible, especially when you see them falling into the abyss of the water with the
Mhm.
blood of them just mixing into that water. Fun fact though, that didn't happen.
Yeah, there was a handful of historical inaccuracies that people really bitched about, with this
Mhm.
movie. Um, the one being also he wasn't at fucking Waterloo. Why would he go fight at Waterloo on his own? That's so stupid. Why the fuck would he go?
But did he really not go to Waterloo?
No, why would he go to the battle?
I don't
Um,
know, the general it.
no, he would get deaded.
Ugh.
But like I think all the budget went to those those really big battle scenes and stuff. They did
Mhm.
them incredibly well. I just think they should have taken that same care and consideration to the rest of the movie showing Napoleon because it was really kind of just a slog and like shit just kind of happened
Mhm.
and we were just there.
I will agree. How the plot is driven this movie is a little strange in the beginning. How he
Mhm.
becomes emperor is a stage where he's really just falling into success. And
Mhm.
that's okay to show. It's just he doesn't have any initiative really to get there, it seems at first. He's just more people are going like, hey, you should do this. And he's like, if you want me
Like, hey, you're a good gunner, right? Get results. And he's like, I got you results. And then he's like, all right, get more. And he's like, I got you more. All right,
to.
there's revolution. I will revolt.
What other inaccuracies were there? Oh, his
The queen's hair should have been short when they cut off her head. It was
yeah,
long.
that's the
What the
one where
fuck?
he got really pissed because somebody
Yeah.
told that to him, Ridley Scott, and he's like, "Are you? How big of a nerd are you? Really?
I
Her
mean,
hair?
to be fair, seeing her hair like cut like with a knife, like cut short, would have been kind of cool.
I agree. That would have been cool to see.
Hmm.
It's definitely just something he didn't know.
Yeah, he just didn't know.
Um, and then there was also the taking of Egypt. There's a shot in there where he shoots the pyramids, and
Hmm.
part of it breaks off. That was a rumor that had been around for a while. I think even circulated by Napoleon to show his brutality or something.
Yeah, because he
No,
won.
that just
Yeah.
that just didn't happen. I think he did take Egypt, but he'd never shot the pyramids.
No, he didn't shoot at the pyramids, and he didn't shoot off the Sphinx's nose either, which is another thing people say.
Mm.
That was some other guy who was just like destroying religious monuments, basically. Um,
Can we get a biopic on that guy, please?
man, I don't really think we can. We know fuck all about him. Apparently,
Sad.
we know he was there. He destroyed the nose, and he wasn't there.
Well, we can get Ridley Scott to do it because historical inaccuracies. He's not
Yeah,
he's not
right.
afraid
You're
of
right.
that.
He's not opposed. We'll just tell him there's an alien in the pyramid, and he'll get into it.
I watched Aliens, his second Alien movie.
Yeah.
No, wait, sorry, that's James Cameron. Never mind. I watched the first Alien
Have you seen
after this.
Gladiator?
Yeah, I've seen Gladiator.
What do you feel about Gladiator?
Gladiator was good. I liked it. That was obviously another fictional area where it's based off of history, but not really how
Yeah,
it
but
went.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, this is that's a really good movie to kind of draw some parallels to.
that is.
Gladiator had some really great cinematics. The main
Mhm,
character had good motivation, and they had family ties, and we had reasons to like care about them and give a shit. And Napoleon had none of these things,
mhm,
and I was so disappointed. I wanted this movie to be so good. It would look
yeah,
so cool in all the trailers and stuff, and just
mhm.
the portrayal of Napoleon himself, and just the script I think was a little lacking, and I just didn't. I was just disappointed.
I'll agree with that. It's weirdly enough, both movies have this really weird and especially weird with women god emperor that sort of is becomes one in battle and is also played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he's a little fella.
Yeah, I imagine he almost acts the same, not incredibly the same. He's a lot more toned down and awkward, and I think that's just like maybe what Ridley Scott's taste has become over time. Because in stuff like House of Gucci, he's going more for like smaller acts of acting, more
Mhm.
compared to the I guess the loudness he used to have in his early career with stuff like Alien or Gladiator.
That's fair. I think he's just old and dying.
He's like, "Can we not be too loud on set, please?"
Yeah, he's just guys, come on. It's very late in the day. Let's not do
Guys,
this.
can I
It's
get
light.
my 3 p.m. nap and then we can go back to filming?
Yeah, all right, thank you. That's why it
Quiet,
took so long.
quiet on set. Hey, me.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, what else do you have to say about this movie? I was just really disappointed.
hmm Um, what else do I have to say about this movie? The ending, the ending parts I really liked, especially him trying to coup the government to become emperor again after he was kicked out.
Mhm.
Um, that I found really interesting because they were really good at showing that. And then we went back, and then he went back to a different island where he died. Um, I really liked the bit about infertility, especially with his wife's part.
Mhm.
I thought that was a really good conflict to focus on. Like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna have a plot outside of battling, we should have a really good one, and that was very interesting to see because it's like getting angry at her, and it's like stuff like that that had real conflict to it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just really wanted more. I wanted to see more of the like, insane tactician guy.
Hmm
That just wasn't really there.
Yeah, I think it's very obvious. What was her name? Josephine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the adding Josephine in made him a lot more human in theory. It's just when it came to performance, he was anything but human. And that's okay. Like we can have a non-human Napoleon. It's just
He
like
shouldn't also be have a love story to go alongside that.
yeah, make him well, I don't know, it could
If he's
maybe
gonna be
be
unforgiving and then with a love story, I think that's kind of like hard to get.
I think that's fair. He I think he might have been thinking like, "Oh, well we'll show how weird this guy is by showing his romantic
Yeah, I
relationship."
mean, yeah, he wanted like cold military commander, but a soft heart with a woman
Oh,
at home and like kind of thing. But it's fucking Joaquin Phoenix too, so it's not.
yeah.
He wasn't gonna get that.
Yeah, no, that's really all I have to say about it. It's still in theaters if you want to watch.
Mhm.
It's getting better reviews. It was getting mixed at the start, and then audiences, or not audiences. Let me not a general audience, a like one of those nerd history buff audiences are liking
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Not because I don't know why. I didn't know there were a lot of people who were like, yeah, no, Napoleon's not the coolest dude. I thought most people thought, man, Napoleon, that guy's cool.
No, I think most people just thought he was a pretty bad guy because he was like a dictator and stuff, but he did good. So
We call everyone everything nowadays.
God, a strong
Dictator.
man in power just is always a dictator, huh?
Yeah.
Just because
Ev-
he killed thousands.
every emperor that overthrows his government to get rule has to be a dictator.
Oh, you fire cannons and your women and children. Shut up. God, asshole.
No, that's all I have to say. What are you thinking for a review?
I'm gonna give it like a two, maybe 2.5, really.
Mm,
This movie was just really disappointing. There were a lot of elements that I enjoyed. The cinematography was great. Just the performances were good themselves, but I think the script was a little lacking. And so overall, I enjoyed the idea of this movie, but I didn't enjoy it.
yeah, I get that. I'll probably do a 2 as well. I'm just thinking like this is a movie that I'm like thinking if I rewatch it, maybe I'll find a new angle to watch it at and I'll enjoy it. But how I watched
Yeah,
it that first time, I'm thinking I'm confused by it. I wasn't in the loop of what what I should have been expecting, and I think that
yeah,
is a big part of it, subversion. I think Joaquin had a really strange performance here that I'll never know it was or wasn't intentional, and for that, I'll probably just give it a 2 as well.
yeah. That's really fair. I think what you said about us having like what we expected going into the movie, because all of the advertising, obviously you can't have a really weird like movie advertising because no one's gonna go see it if all the advertising is just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think portraying it as, that more action and love story really hurt it almost more because people walked in expecting that and they didn't get that. They got Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a Ridley, he's saying he has like a couple more movies to go, so maybe he'll make something good before he kicks the can.
Dude, I think it's so funny, like directors like, like Martin Scorsese are like, you're like, I could only probably make like, one more movie before I die, versus this motherfucker's like, I'm gonna make fucking 50 in like 8 years. They're all gonna be shit besides like 2.
I think what's better is very similarly James Cameron. He's like the same age, or maybe a little bit younger than Martin Scorsese, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll be directing every Avatar movie up until Avatar 8.
Dude, I have no idea how they're doing that. I'm still fucking amazed.
He's writing at like a fast speed. Avatar 3 is already done. That script's been approved. I'm sure he's already working on Avatar 4.
Confident.
Maybe even Avatar 5 at this point. He definitely has an idea for all of it. And we're just are you ready for like continuous Avatar?
Dude, are you ready for him to die after like after the third movie, and then someone else has to pick up and try to like hobble together what he made?
I know who it's gonna be.
Who?
It's gonna be J.J. Abrams, because that's what always happens.
It totally is. That's it's so fucking funny.
It's gonna be so bad.
Oh my god. Dude,
they have jetpacks now?
Guys, we got Pedro Pascal. So before we get in the news, have you guys ever wanted to record your own podcast? When we started WAM, Nolan and I lived just a stone's throw away from each other, but now with like a 5-hour commute between the two of us, we had to find a solution that worked with both of our college student budgets in order to record WAM each week.
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable.
If you thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code WAM, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan.
We want you to have the same easy experience we do for all of our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
What do you have for news? Movie news.
Movie news. Well, we have a rumor going around about some more fantastic forecasting, laying off of, or at least connecting to Pedro Pascal. Did we talk about how he's in the running for Mr. Fantastic?
We did. You didn't like it.
No, I hated it.
He's not bad. He's fine.
He's a very good actor.
Who would you rather?
I mean, I'm going to still shoot with my guns here and say Glenn Howerton. That's definitely my bias.
Ooh.
Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was also in the movie Blackberry recently. He's great at showing like a family aspect and then showing aggression. He has the same type of hair. I think Pedro Pascal can definitely surprise me though, because he's been consistently good. There's only one movie he's been bad in. There's only been one movie he's been bad in, and that's Wonder Woman 1984. And that's that movie's fault.
Man, I hate this guy. It's his face. It looks so smackable.
Pedro?
No, Dennis. I just want to punch him.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good vibe to give with Mr. Fantastic.
No, I was thinking you were talking about like the little rat man from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, Charlie.
Who's also in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Charlie Day.
Yeah. I want Charlie Day.
Charlie Day, I would absolutely love to have in Marvel. But where would he fit best?
Nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think there is a character for him. Oh, he would have been a great Bruce Banner.
No.
With how anxious he can be?
Yeah, but Bruce Banner isn't like a little anxious, whiny prick.
Yeah.
That's what Charlie Day is. And he's great at that.
He's great at that.
Like
I love
Pacific
him in that.
Rim, and not as
And
much as Pacific Rim Uprising.
and what, that one movie where he has to get ready for a fight with like the superintendent at a school, and like Ice Cube has to train him.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
I
but
think that's the
yeah,
movie.
that too, man.
Anyways, the movie news I was trying to say 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
We have a rumor going around about Marvel's top choice for Doctor Doom.
Ooh.
Do you want to know who it is?
Pedro Pascal.
We're doing an Austin Powers.
Yep. All right, who?
Cillian Murphy. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking he would be very good at it. I mean, he has that sort of messed up face that I could assume would be a villain. So that's why he was so good as Scarecrow.
Yeah, I think he fits.
Yeah, I think he would be a great fit. I don't know about his voice because that's going to be most of his acting. But you know, that's up for someone else to decide.
I wonder who's gonna be the. Is he the Rock Man? Is he just the Thing?
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, the Thing, or otherwise known as Ben Grimm.
What a boring name.
Yeah, I think
Ben Grimm. Yeah.
Some people were gonna try to get the guy from The Bear. I forgot his name. But he looks really good for the role, and a lot of people have been pointing this out. He's Jewish. There's been a pretty big movement about, you know, trying to cast underrepresented roles as the characters they are, and Ben Grimm is traditionally a Jewish character. So they're like, hey, can we get a Jewish guy to play him? And this guy not only is really fitting for the part,
Andy Samberg.
Seth Rogen.
That'd be good.
No, okay, the photos that are online are in fact Seth Rogen fan cast, but we're looking at Eben Moss Barack. He's known for being in The Bear, but he is such a cool guy. If you look up Eben Moss, he should show up. You've seen him around before. He would be incredible. Voice acting, physicality. I'd be really excited to see him in the role. Oh yeah, we were talking about Avatar. More Avatar news as well. Okay, so Avatar came out last year, 2022, right?
Yeah. Sadly.
It still had a little bit of theater spots up until 2023. There were some spots in 2023 where they were in theaters. When they were in theaters, they made $283 million just in 2023.
Damn.
And they had a December release.
Yeah. Damn.
Comparatively, Ant-Man 3 made $214 million.
Oh.
Indiana Jones 5 made $174 million. And last time I checked, The Marvels is at about $76 million.
Jesus.
So
dude, that movie was like 200 or something to make.
Yeah, it was 270.
That's insane. They're not even going to break even for like a year.
It's going to be bad. They're going to be putting that movie on Netflix.
Dude, wow. That's really bad. That's like actually a travesty.
So Avatar, that came out in 2022, made more money this year than those blockbuster movies, than those huge name movies.
Yeah, that's pretty concerning. But also, Avatar was like such a maybe not landmark, but huge film when that movie came out. So I can understand when the second one came out, everyone was gonna go see, because everyone saw Avatar. That's when 3D stuff was getting cool again for like 2 years, so everyone saw it in 3D.
I think Avatar has this really good niche of being just like, hey, we're the movie that's really pretty. I think that's a really good niche for them to fill.
Yeah, you're right. Nolan, I don't think any other movies really capture that. You're right.
Well, Avatar,
I've never seen a pretty movie.
Well, Avatar, I think the main appeal of it to most of a general audience is the special effects in this movie are going to be some of the best you've ever seen. Am I wrong with that?
I think the appeal is alien planet cool, but I don't know if they're thinking the special effects in this are amazing.
I always thought
that the consumer is just looking at it and going, man, that weird black dog looks cool.
I guess so. I mean, I was looking at the start of 3D movies and Avatar, and I sort of thought the connection sort of there is the visuals. I thought that's why, because that's at least when I talked to my mom, she's like, oh, I liked Avatar. It looks so pretty.
That's fair. I think people will go into it thinking it's pretty, but I don't think they're gonna be like, God, the effects are amazing. I think they're just
Mhm.
gonna be like, yeah, that movie's pretty, and that's gonna be like the most thought.
Yeah. And then Avatar 2 upped it, especially with modern CGI and them actually using it to their full potential instead of just going, it doesn't need to be clean.
It's okay. We
Um, and they shot this in 60 FPS and had it in 60 FPS in the theater,
they
which was
actually
this.
shot this on an alien planet. They went to Pandora.
They James Cameron built all of Pandora and made a profit.
Inside of Louisiana.
You
It's
can
all
visit.
there.
We would make a Pandora and then just turn it into another Disney World.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The real Disney World.
I'd go.
I mean,
Disney Universe.
could you afford it?
No, no. I'd work there and then I'd start my first day and then quit and just walk around.
You'd become sort of like an outlaw.
Yeah, they'd have to consistently try to catch me and I'd just be covered in a fine like butter so they couldn't grab me.
Yoink.
Yeah, just slip away.
Like Spider.
Yeah, exactly. Or Lube Man.
Oh, how do you remember Lube Man?
How do you not remember Lube Man?
You didn't watch the show.
Okay, I still liked Lube Man.
Lube Man has very limited appearances in the Watchmen HBO show. He's a character in it. It's alluded that it's like the secret identity of one of the guys there, but basically he's just a guy in full spandex who's spying on this one girl. And when he notices, he starts running away from her. He covers himself in lubricant just while he's running, and then he perfectly slides down a water drain.
Dude,
It's
it's amazing.
incredible.
It's art.
Please just look up Lube Man Scene Watchmen.
That
You are
man's
going
an
to love
icon.
it.
Holy shit.
Um,
Yeah, what are the news?
Good Burger 2 update.
Ooh,
What?
okay.
Mark Cuban is leaving Shark Tank after 16 seasons. He
Damn.
got on Good Burger and he thought, I think this is my calling, being in Nickelodeon movies.
Dude, what is he gonna do?
I don't know what he's going to do without Shark Tank. What
Own the
what
Mavericks more?
own the Mavericks, own a giant pharmaceutical company that's getting a lot of money. Like, what
Yeah.
else is there to do in life, man?
Well, really, what will he like do every day though? Like, if he like retires and stuff, what is he gonna keep doing all day?
um,
Like Yahtzee?
I think he's gonna do
What do you think
whatever.
Mark Cuban's favorite board game is?
Mark Cuban's favorite board game, Operation, maybe?
I was gonna say Monopoly.
No, I don't think he has the patience.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe like, maybe Uno?
He could be an Uno guy. I could see
Maybe
him being
Uno.
an Uno guy.
That works.
Audience, if you tell us through our email what board game Mark Cuban.
What board game do you think Mark Cuban would play? What else?
Oh, I have a point of concern in something
Yes.
we both like. I think
Oh,
you like this. The
okay.
Boys.
I do.
Are
What's that?
you aware that they're doing another spinoff?
Isn't it
Yeah,
Mexico?
it's just The Boys Mexico. It's the Boys, but it will be set in Mexico following events going on in Mexico. There will be there will be cameos by by members that are already in the real The Boys. The writer for Blue Beetle will be the head writer for the series.
What? Why?
I guess they're thinking, well, he knows how to tailor it to a Mexican audience. That's
Yeah,
really what
that's
I'm
the
imagining
only
the thought
reason.
process is.
I didn't like Blue Beetle.
Um, Blue Beetle's writing, was it good? Was it bad? It was a thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun at parts, but I count that more towards acting.
It was Mr. Electric's movie.
Yeah, man, George Lopez is great.
Yeah, he's such an asshole though. Such a shame.
what I really liked about The Boys at the start was knowing, and they had talked about this for a while,
Yeah.
that they were going for a 5-season setup and they were done. It was, we tell the story in 5 seasons where you're going to get a real conclusion. We're not going to try to muddy it up. We're not going to try to overfill this, and then
Yeah.
we'll be done with it. I really like that idea going in from the start.
Mm-hmm.
There's more and more spin-offs that are happening, though. We already
Yeah.
had Gen V, which I did hear people liked, and now we're getting this. My main concern is Amazon executives and Eric Kripke are looking at this and going, we can squeeze a few more bottles out, and they're going to keep doing that. They're just going to say, we haven't crossed the line now, until they cross the line. They're just going to
Yeah.
keep thinking we're good until they hit the point where like shit hits the fan, and they're going to go, let's end it, and it's going to have like a Game of Thrones ending.
And then
And
they're gonna make a The Boys movie or something after that all fucks up.
you made me so pissed off when you just said that.
I know they're going to. It's gonna happen.
They will. They
Yeah,
totally will.
it's gonna be like the Toxic Avenger kind of shit.
Well, no, Toxic Avenger is incredible. Okay.
Are you saying The Boys movie won't be incredible?
It depends. I mean, The Boys movie, if we're really, really stretching like what's going on in this and we stretch this story, putting it into a movie format, I would be a little concerned just because I'm okay with the standard, like, okay, it's gonna be Butcher, it's gonna be Butcher and it's gonna be Homelander, and we're gonna see how they battle, and they won't get to each other by the end, but more land has been like dug up. I'm okay with that for a TV show just because how we get there is really interesting. But for a movie, I don't think I'd be able to handle it.
What do you mean handle it?
I don't think I'll be able to like go and see Homelander versus Butcher for like the 17th time and be like, man, this feels just as refreshing as the first time. Especially when they
Yeah,
can't fill in as much character dynamics and just like cool plot points as you could in a TV show that
yeah.
make up for that.
They're still totally gonna make it though. It's gonna
They
happen.
will. They will.
Yeah.
Now I'm expecting that. Thanks, Nick. My week is ruined.
Good show though.
Great show.
Just watch The Boys if you guys haven't.
Yeah. I watch Boys all the time. Anyway, one last piece of movie news.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jake Gyllenhaal and Doug Liman have been working on a Roadhouse remake, a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They finished it and they were at Amazon and they were going, okay, what are we doing with this? And they say, great movie, guys. We're gonna release it on streaming. And they were like, okay, what about theaters? And they said, no, I don't think so. They were so pissed off that they weren't able to get a theatrical release.
Yeah.
That they went to Jeff Bezos. They got on his yacht and they screened the movie to him. And they're like, you're telling me you're not going to put this in theaters? And he said, yeah. Yeah, this is not getting a theatrical release.
Damn. That sucks, dude. They really thought they were doing something.
They thought this is it. If we talk to him, we'll get his better nature. And he showed up in a cowboy hat with some strange woman who looks like his wife on his side. And he was like, that's a great movie, guys. I cannot let other people see that.
Yeah, that's rough. That sucks. One of the richest people in the world gives you a hard no, and that's rough.
I mean, yeah, Jake. What's that one? Where's the one movie where he's like shaking his mirror and going, no!
I know.
I see that clip all the time. Was it Nightcrawler? Was it Prisoners? I don't know.
Perhaps.
Was that just a camera inside his house when Taylor Swift broke up with her?
Yep.
Him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. That can we get a? I don't know what happened between him and Taylor Swift. I've heard there was like bad shit
or something.
Yeah.
And then probably made a song about it. You could just listen to the song. She'll probably tell you.
Yeah, I think getting a story like this from only one perspective that's made to be sensationalized for the radio is the best way that I could possibly find out what happened.
Well, yeah, it's the only way. Yeah, do we have any more news?
That's the end of my news.
Okay.
I'm sort of now just thinking about, like, imagine the New York Times is like, we're now going to have all of our headlines told by Taylor Swift in a song. Well, yeah, that's all I have left of movie news. So I believe, well, I'm looking at my Wham clock, and it says it's about the end of Wham.
Damn, it's time. It happens.
Yeah.
It just goes so fast.
Time flies so fast when Napoleon Bonaparte is begging to have sex with you.
Yeah. Why'd we both go to Napoleon having sex? Why was
Because
that?
that's the best part of that movie.
You're right, I guess.
Like, it's legitimately, my mouth went agape when I just saw him, like, stomping his foot to tell everyone in the room, it's time for you to leave. I need to have sex with my wife right now.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you guys for listening. This has been Wham, episode 22.
And you've been Wham.
All right, see you guys next week. Get out of here. Assholes.
Hate them.
Fuck you.